TIFU by texting my ex's ex-girlfriend and finding out he played us both at the same time. Edit 2. I need a way to stop visualizing him cheating on me. I can't stop picturing it. Please give me some insight into how to work on moving on and not thinking about this anymore. Update. Thank you everyone for the sweetest, thoughtful and kind messages. For allowing me to vent and cry about it here. And giving me this time to vent. I definitely feel that I have accepted this situation more now than I could all day yesterday. I kept telling myself that this wasn't true. He called me yesterday to apologize and tell me that he loved me. I just cried on the phone. I politely told him to not reach out again and just leave my life. That he doesn't have a place in my life anymore. He didn't protest. After the call, I deleted his number, blocked him everywhere, and that really helped. Because I had a habit of checking if he texted me or not. Now I know there won't be any texts or calls from him. He has my cat with him. I asked him to drop my cat and my stuff to a friend's place who lives in the same city. I gave my friend his phone number so I won't have to get involved. I am still in disbelief, but I believe I will recover and am glad I found out. Thank you to all of you to send encouraging words to me and called him an asshole. I appreciate it. Fuck. This just happened a few hours ago and I just wanted to vent. So here goes. I, F24, have been dating Dave, M38. I met online in October 2019. Things were great, but I moved due to the pandemic and we've been doing long distance. Things were fine for the most part, but I felt that I couldn't rely on what he told me. There were gaps in Dave's stories sometimes. He would often forget things he told me and increasingly grew hot-headed in the last stage of our relationship. Due to all these problems and not being able to find a solution, I decided to take a break, and that led to a breakup. I just felt something was off about his behavior. He didn't want to break up, but I insisted. I knew about his ex-girlfriend, Maria, and I knew her Instagram. So I reached out to her and asked her if she could talk to me about him, about his nature, personality and behavior in general. So I can get a better idea about who he is. She asked me to call her, I did. We talked for a good 1 to 2 hours in the phone. Going into details of when we started dating, she proceeded to tell me that when he approached me, they both were engaged. Their engagement broke 5 months after Dave and I started dating. I had told my family about him and they'd talked him and liked him a lot. Besides a few communication gaps here and there, Dave was the perfect boyfriend. Sweet, caring, very thoughtful, talked about the future, buying a house together and everything. Turns out after Dave and Maria broke up, he told her he had met a Caitlin while walking on the lakeside, and Caitlin was a model for Lululemon and an engineer, and stopped him and asked for his phone number. Caitlin and Dave hit it off because Caitlin wanted to date Dave, but he was taking it slow. Brew, I was Caitlin. But that's not my name. I am an engineer but not a model? And I met him online. This dude is trying to make his girlfriend jealous, but also, so offensive to me. I'm Indian, made me sound like a white girl, and why? He slept with Maria multiple times while we were dating. Maria was told that he is single. Before I moved, he had his birthday lunch with me and birthday dinner with Maria. Maria left because she had a miscarriage 2 months into the pregnancy. I am shocked at what I found out. I opened a can of worms I was not ready to handle. Maria asks me for a picture of me with Dave and asks Dave if he's dating and sends the picture. He says no. She says, "But you were though?" and tells him that she and I are talking on the phone right now. He asks why, calls me and asks why. He's freaking out. I text him that we're done and he says, "I know you were going to make this an open and shut case. I wish you wouldn't." I give this shell of a man a call and he doesn't have a word to say to me. I proceed to go off at him and he just listens. Then he tries to make a few excuses, but I go back with more details that Maria told me and that shuts him up. I cannot believe I spent my time AMD energy trying to preserve what I had with this man. I am beyond furious and so hurt. This is literally my first relationship where I invested all of me. I thought he was put together, he knew what he was doing, had his life figured out. I was so wrong. Bro, he knew what he was doing. Why would he even want a fucking long distance if he was trying to get his ex back? Why fuck with my head and heart like this? Talk about kids and a future, a house together. He says I don't understand. He says, if you knew everything that preceded me meeting you and why I met you in the first place, you would think differently. What the fuck? I had to get over so many insecurities and put my trust in this man. I told myself I was just overthinking and that he's not doing anything wrong. My fucking gut instinct was right all along and I shouldn't have wasted my fucking time. This is almost sociopathic behavior. I can't believe it. Rant over TLDR. Trusted a guy with all my heart only for his ex to tell me that he dated us both simultaneously and lied about my name and personality traits to make his ex-fiancée jealous. Fuck this. Edit. Wow. So many people have so many nice things to say. I am overwhelmed with happiness to say the least. All day I have thought about this betrayal and felt so sad. Like my want to cry. My mom has been sitting with me and talking about this. We haven't started Harry Potter though. She's not a fan but I think she said it to make me happy and then forgot about it. Haha, I am going to go through the comments and messages now. I really appreciate all of taking the time to write to me or write on the post. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. You are right. I dodged a bullet. My heart is so torn. Because he pretended to be so good to me. A significant part of me doesn't want to believe this but there are receipts and he didn't deny anything either. Even though we had broken up before this debacle. Right now I feel utterly betrayed and I don't know how to make myself feel okay again. Honestly, you didn't fuck up at all. You were manipulated and lied to. It's not like you knew and just let it keep going. You found out because he was too chicken shit to just be open and honest with you and outright lied and cheated. You did no fucking up, today he fucked up. I hope the best for you and that this doesn't damage your hopes for the future or beat you down, so just know it was not wrong on your part to find this stuff out. It's good you did, and you have a right to know this stuff, especially when he's cheating. Being with two people while lying about it is cheating. Don't victim blame yourself out of guilt or sadness, because the only person who deserves any level of scorn here is your ex. I mentioned this in detail to my mom today. He called him a fraud, a scam artist. She said she's glad he's out of my life and that this is a valuable lesson in disguise. She asked me to embrace it and not let him get the best of me. She's making my favorite soup for dinner and we decided to watch some Harry Potter tonight because she knows it's my comfort movie. Smiley face. IDK what I'd do without her. Yeah. Age gaps between adults aren't automatically a deal breaker or sign of inevitable relationship failure. But they are a warning sign to tread carefully. I have a friend that always seems to date way younger women, and they seem plenty attracted to him. They wonder why this guy that generally has his shit together but floats from young lady to young lady doesn't suddenly settle down for them, and he wonders why every 20-something free spirit girl isn't ready to settle down with him. It's kind of funny to watch, when neither is getting hurt anyway. My dad is 20 years older than my mom. He also had a divorce before he met my mom. But their circumstances were different. She met him and they were friends for years before they pursued a relationship when my mom was already in her late 20s. So she had better understanding of what she was getting into. And my parents have always supported my personal choices. They trust me and my decision-making generally and let me decide for myself. They expect full honesty and communication and they give their 2 cents and let me decide. And they don't mind if I make mistakes. That's why it's easier to deal with this right now. I feel used by Dave but I don't regret the mistake of dating him. Adding to the chorus of, not a foo. The age difference is a flag if you're going for a relationship. The creepy formula of 1/2 the oldest person's age divided by 2 and then plus 7 is a decent rule of thumb in your 20s and 30s, but you had good instincts on when to back away. As someone in their 40s, I would include the caveat of, be mindful of initial infatuation and actual connection, since you mentioned the house issue. The beginning of a relationship with someone who's at least a decent match, or can present as one, can be pretty intoxicating, and that's only compounded by how people form bonds in the early 20s as well as the dopamine hit of prolonged skin-to-skin contact post-coitus. It can take a bit for that initial fog to clear, and sometimes people agree and commit to things they probably wouldn't have after a few years without the infatuation blinders. Part of the reason why the divorce rate on first marriages drops when both spouses are over age 25 when getting married. This guy being a train wreck was clear pretty early, and it's a good lesson on trusting your instincts and being patient the next time you find someone where you click. You'll meet new partners who are awesome and have a great time together, but it can take a little time for some of the more subtle incompatibilities to show up. Your incompatibility with this guy was definitely not subtle lol. I mean, don't be afraid to be vulnerable or be super intimate or just plain do things. Just be patient when it comes to long-term and permanent commitments and choices.